You are most welcome, Mr. Joseph Kiggundu, the Chairman, National Private Schools and Institutional COVID-19 Committee, and also the Director of King's Schools. Basically, it's not news now that government has directed that schools, especially candidate classes, should reopen on the 15th of October. This is not news. However, this comes with standard operating procedures that the government has come up with for you to be able to follow. The government is saying that you should not operate both day and boarding. The school is either day or it's boarding.
This season that we are in, the times that we are in are abnormal times. This is a new normal. Things are no longer the same. I think it's inevitable that we are going to have to operate either day or boarding as the Ministry of Education and Health have provided. But of course it's going to be a little challenging because there are many parents who have been having children commuting on a daily basis and they cannot afford the cost of boarding. And now it is going to require them to pay for boarding facilities, and especially this time when the incomes are not very good.
Parents have to identify new schools from where they can take their pupils or their students, their children, to the nearby school.
It's going to be a little challenging, even on the children. If parents have been registered in a particular school, they've been there for 6-7 years for primary school, or 4 to 6 years in secondary school, having to change to a new school is going to be so challenging. Children have to get used to new environment. They are going to meet new children, fellow children. It will take time to get oriented to the new environment. But also on the side of the parents, they are going to have to buy new facilities. You are going to buy new uniforms. You are going to buy new requirements. It's going to be challenging. And I assure you, there are many children who may even drop out because of this requirement.
The ministry is saying that students can use private means, especially being transported by their parents. But the government, the same ministry is saying that the students or the pupils who are commuting to school should not use public means.
As you are aware, in this country, not every single child is carried by parents who have private means. And even those with private means may not be 24/7 available to transport the children. Many of our parents are working far away. They're working far away from the schools. Others are working up country and only return over the weekends. So it's going to be very challenging to the parents, but also the children. I think ideally this means that children should be registered in the boarding facilities, in the residential facilities. Because the alternative would be that schools organize private transport, which means every school should have vans, transport vans. But still, we have many schools, actually the majority of schools in this country, do not have transport facilities. Many of our teachers come from distances, 10, even 15 kilometers far away from the school. It's not possible that they are going to walk. It's not possible that everybody will ride. It's not possible that everybody will be able to hire a cab to come to school.
Everything has been thrown to schools. And they're saying that you have to meet the cost of implementing these SOPs.
These are very tough times. One, schools have not been operating in a long time, so many months. They've lost 2 terms. That means they've lost income. They've depleted all their resources. They've been spending without earning, and yet they are required to invest a lot in order to implement the SOPs. This is going to be challenging. So schools are going to have to take up debt, maybe to borrow. They are going to improvise. As a requirement and as of necessity, they must find means and ways to see to it that they put in place the necessary infrastructure to implement these SOPs. I'm telling you, this is going to be very challenging. As we have said earlier, already we have schools that may not be able to operate in this period.
Aren't we likely to see a number of schools increasing fees, much as the government has said don't increase the fees?
Implementing SOPs is a very expensive venture. But as I said, Jjingo, the parents are not doing better either. They are not doing well. Many of the parents have lost incomes, they've lost businesses, others are completely on a flat tire. So as much as it would be ideal that they increase fees, the environment may not be conducive. We've raised a number of issues, but I think the technical side, the scientists have insisted on many of them. So in the meantime, we may not have to do much more. We may not be able to change a lot because we've had a number of discussions.
Owners of schools and also teachers' unions are supposed to meet the president in State House tomorrow.
We are going to deliberate more on the teachers' circle money, the 20 billion that was released and provided for the teachers of private schools. That is going to be the main focus of our discussion.
Yes. Otherwise, thank you very much.